the stadium court. We've seen him in that chair for several matches. We're ready to start.
Connors has not won a tournament in almost 3 years. That hasn't stopped him from maintaining his top 10 ranking. Sun breaking back through the overcast as this match begins.
Love 15.
And Connors starts with a double.
Opens up with a double, which is kind of unusual, although players will tell you that the first game of any match, if you're serving, is very difficult. You are not fully warmed up, no matter how hard you try in that warm-up. And so this receiver does have a certain advantage.
Love 30.
Gilbert won that match against Becker by just keeping the ball in play very softly. Said before the match that was his plan. I didn't get a chance to talk to him today because we've been up here, but my guess is he's got a definite plan against Connors as well.
Love 40.
It's the top of the net, and so Gilbert with a couple breaks here early. Big chance. Squeaking you hear is tennis shoes trying to change direction. Brett Connors looking on as Connors hits the slice backhand up the line. Gilbert on the full run, pops it up. Jimmy nails that two-hander cross court. He jumped on that volley.
That was Brett Connors. Jimmy knows how to play the crowd, putting his son in a Met fan and a Met hat. About 100 yards from Shea Stadium. Connors saving 2 break points. Still 1 more for Gilbert.
Brad Gilbert, Foothill College out in the Bay Area, and then on down to Pepperdine. Coached by Tom Shivington, who is here today, and then later coached at Pepperdine by Alan Fox, one of the good players a few years back. In my era, quite a few years back.
There's a lot of squeaking going on down there. Sounds like the NBA. Both players in brand new shoes.
And on the third break point, Gilbert does break to start the match. First men's quarterfinal match here at the U.S. Open. We'll pause for this local break. At the U.S. Open, by the way, the final quarterfinal slot was won by Ramesh Krishnan, who defeated Andrei Chesnikov in straight sets on the grandstand court earlier.
15 love.
He's amazing.
And old Ramesh will go on to play Stefan Edberg.
Ramesh walks on the court and goes, then he beats everybody.
Patty Connors mentioned that Jimmy was up 4 matches to 1 on Gilbert. Jimmy beat him at Boca West in '84, La Quinta in '85, Chicago in '85, and then Brad beat him in that great tournament he played at Memphis in '86. Connors came back to beat him in Orlando this year on the hard courts, 6-2 in the third set. Last 3 times they've played, it's been 3 sets.
30-15.
A double, and it's 30-15.
You can't really tell with Brad, though, can you? I mean, a couple of weeks ago when he beat Becker, you know, he really took it to Becker, and then he got killed by Lendl in the finals. He only won a game or two.
6-love, 6-1. There is the longest standing tennis fan ever. I think he sleeps here. Alan King.
Watching Brad Gilbert get out to a 2.
Gilbert leads by 2 games to love.
Lead on Jimmy Connors in the first set of this quarterfinal. Talked about Chris Evert's streak of semifinals broken today. Jimmy Connors was in the semis here 12 straight years until last year.
First service.
When he was beaten in the third round by Todd Witzkin.
Good touch there by Gilbert. He almost looked casual the way he finished off that drop volley. Jimmy wasn't even aware right then as he lined up to serve that Gilbert was about 20 feet behind the baseline. Looked like Gilbert got something in his thumb and he went to the towel.
15-30.
And Connors, who was broken to start the set, now down 15-30. And now 2 break points for Gilbert. Do you think Brad might want to make the rallies long, try to keep Connors out there?
I'm sure that might be a good plan at this moment early to try and keep that ball in play as much as possible, knowing that Connors has that suspect foot.
30-40.
But that's kind of Gilbert's style of play, actually. It's the way he played against Becker. He doesn't overpower you. He just kind of keeps the ball going.
Still a break for Gilbert. Break point.
There is the right foot Jimmy's having the trouble with. It's the one that he puts his weight on as he serves that left-handed serve. Watch the weight come on it right there.
Well, Brad Gilbert's been hearing all about Connors' foot, and he says, hey, look, he's in the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open. He's got to be playing pretty well out there. It can't be bothering him too much. And even Jimmy says of his foot, I'd play out there on a peg leg if I had to. This is a U.S. Open. This only happens once a year. So you go out and you do the best you can. You try to make it through. Misses a very fine lob by Gilbert.
Advantage Gilbert.
Third break point of the game for Gilbert. Already up 2-love.
Brad Gilbert, a big sportsman, loves those L.A. Raiders.
He's fluent in all sports.
He is.
You can tell just by talking tennis to him, he uses every kind of sports analogy you could imagine. Yes.
Advantage Gilbert.
One of the most individual of games, and yet he's a tremendous team sports fan.
He's big on Davis Cup as well. He's represented the country, our country, a couple of times.
Connors dodging a fourth break point.
Hughes. Connors, good anticipation here. Watch this good approach. Now he hits this volley because he starts moving right there. As Gilbert teed off on the ball, Jimmy moved to his left immediately, just instinctively. He knew that was going to go cross court. Everybody talks about Connors' backcourt game, but when he gets up to net with a good volley, it's gone. He's quick and decisive up there.
Advantage Connors.
Survives 4 break points to hold. Gilbert still leading 2-1 first set. Coast, we welcome you to USA Sports extended coverage of what a special day it is here at the U.S. Open. Bringing you live quarterfinal coverage. Gilbert serving up a break.
Love 15.
Does, Mary, what Gilbert does affect how Connors plays this match at all? The way Gilbert plays?
Well,
just keeping the ball in play?
Oh, Jimmy can figure out how to beat anybody. I mean, he'll watch what Brad does against him and try to work his game around it.
Love 30. Love 40.
Which now gives Connors 3 break points. I'd like to again thank CBS Sports for their cooperation in allowing USA to stay on the air with this extended coverage.
Game Connors.
Connors breaks it love. And so now we're on serve at 2-all in the first set.
2 games all.
Tonight on USA, Lendl and McEnroe. And the other quarterfinal match, tomorrow's quarterfinals, will be Edberg against Krishnan and Wilander against Machir.
Love 15. All.
Well, after a real quick start, Gilbert's game has gone a bit flat. Gilbert said of his win against Becker, he was down 2 sets, he was in a tiebreak, it was all over. And he said after he won that 3rd set, I started serving better, volleying better, and believing in myself. He said, I never had that feeling in my life.
15-30.
He's trying to get that feeling back against Connors.
Gilbert's best warm-up tournament coming here was at Washington. He beat Becker in the semifinals before losing to Lendl in the finals.
$15-40.
Well, Connors in danger of being broken back here at 15-40.
$30-40.
And it seems as though Gilbert is trying to use the same sort of soft ball tactics that worked so effectively against Boris Becker the other night. But Connors did a good job of cutting all that off, taking the net and putting it away.
And if that's the case, Mary, should Connors be coming to net more?
I'm sure he will. I mean, if he sees that that's what's going to happen, he won't let those long rallies go on. Not with his foot especially.
Second break point for Gilbert. Connors in, but Gilbert passes to break and go back up 3-2 in the first set. Right now we're going to find out more about the foot ailments that have hindered Jimmy Connors throughout this U.S. Open. We're going to go to the USA studio and Barry McKay. At the close-up of Connors' shoe, it looks like that right shoe has some slits in the front of it, Mary.
Gives him a little more room in there.
There you see what we're referring to. Slits, 2 on the side, 2 on the top. $
30-15.
Gilbert's got such strong passing shots down the line off both the forehand and the backhand, as you can see.
Well,
the fans love Jimmy. They really applauded this last volley effort from him. It was a great stab. And Jimmy says, as we have another look at the lunge volley winner, Connors says of the fans, I love playing here, and the fans have won me a few titles. They sure do back him.
30 all. Painted one line, and now he painted another. And Connors has a break point.
14.
Brett Connors, it looks like Aaron Krickstein, who was out
Good
with
eye.
Stress fracture.
Good eye. That is Aaron Krickstein.
Hughes. Gilbert.
Well, Connors was up a break point. Now it's Gilbert's ad.
There was an off-speed rally that Gilbert won. Connors rushed that a bit. You tend to do that, don't you, Barry? You tend to try to speed things up a little bit.
Well, it's true. The faster the ball comes back, sometimes you get wrapped up in pace. And if you hit one good shot and it feels good, you get a little more pace off the return, there's a temptation to say, I'm going to try just a little more. That last one felt awful good.
Gilbert has spoken often about the self-control that he's developed over the years. We should label him probably a hothead at one time.
He's become a much better match player. He knows when to play the big points well. He showed that against Becker.
Second serve at deuce.
Excellent approach by Connors there. There is Slew Hester, and this stadium is often called the house that Slew built.
One of the most clear-thinking men you'll ever meet in tennis.
former president of the USTA from Jackson, Mississippi, and what a job he has done here with his tennis center.
Oh! He likes to come out every year and look around, count the house. And it's full today.
There's another error on a break point.
Gilbert.
Seconds, the maximum amount of time that is supposed to be allowed between points. These guys are using most of it up in between each point.
And Gilbert holds in a long game. So Gilbert's still up a break in the first set.
And Connors lights pace, and he's just not getting it at all from Brad Gilbert. In an effort to create his own pace, he's made some errors.
Oh, yes. That's one of Jimmy's best plays. He sees a ball that just starts to float a little bit, and he takes a couple quick steps and volleys it off the two-hander rather than letting the ball drop. No.
30 love.
This is the best U.S. Open that Brad Gilbert's ever had. Last year he advanced to the fourth round, where he lost to Lendl. Sixth year, first time to the quarters. And Connors holds his serve easily at love, but Gilbert's still up a service break in the first set of this quarterfinal match.
At the U.S. Tennis Center here as Brad Gilbert leads 4-3 with a break in the first set against Jimmy Connors. Quarterfinal match. Interesting statistic. Connors serving 82% of his first serves in thus far. Gilbert only 29%, and yet Gilbert has the break.
Love 15.
has to be careful. Jimmy can put 3 or 4 points together quickly and sting you. Before you know it, you've lost your serve. Connor's waiting for the call. He thought that was a fault. Bertie Berger from West Germany in the chair out of Munich. Long way from Flushing Meadow, Munich, Germany. Gilbert looked a little undecided on that. Not sure if there was an approach shot or just trying to keep the ball in play.
Kind of jumped at it.
Yeah. $15-30. Clean ace down the center for Brad. That is his second ace thus far. Another one. And Gilbert comes alive with 2 clean aces to go up 5-3 in the first set. There is Mrs. Gilbert on the far right in the green and white.
They had Super Saver airline tickets to go back to California, and they have lost their fare.
Maybe Brad will help them out.
One would hope so.
Low.
There's Patty and Brett sitting over on the far side.
And Doug Henderson in the blue hat, longtime friend of Connor's. He's here every year at the U.S. Open. Oh, there's that forehand down the line of Gilbert's. That can be so tough.
It's a good sweeping shot here. Watch Brad's weight now. He starts back, gets the racket back early, big swing, but the follow-through was perfect. Kept that ball on the racket just an extra split second.
He plays both his strokes down the line a lot more than most players.
Yeah. Jimmy made a real good get from the baseline there with a half volley. Gilbert not only hitting nice easy pace, Mary, he's hitting them with a lot of depth. Those balls are about 6 inches in front of the baseline. Good control.
He's looking a lot like Ramesh Krishnan out there.
Gliding around a little bit like that.
Just not missing.
There is Tom Shivington, that gentleman you just saw. That is a fellow who coached Brad in his first days at the junior college, Foothill Junior College, just south of San Francisco, and a good player in his own right. In fact, he and Dick Gould have been putting on tennis clinics for years in many cities all around Northern California. Tom is doing a lot of traveling these days. I saw him at Wimbledon with Brad as well.
Brad's got a lot of backers here in the
40.
They're all in different parts of the stadium. The Gilbert Orchestra. He's got Tom Shivington down there. Tom's wife is probably on the opposite end of the court. His parents sit.
They spread out.
They don't sit together. Yeah, very superstitious lot. They're all kind of nervous and they don't want to be around each other.
Oh! When you hit a return like that, this is Gilbert again having a nice afternoon. I'm not sure who the woman on her right is. I'd like to find out, as a matter of fact, but I'm sure we'll check her out before the day's over.
Advantage corners.
Well, for those viewers tuning into USA to see Chain Reaction on the East Coast and Cartoon Express on the West Coast, you won't see them. You're going to see Brad Gilbert and Jimmy Connors as we welcome you to extended coverage by USA Sports of the 1987 U.S. Open.
Game Connors.
Oh, it's now Connors holding, but Gilbert will serve for the set when we come back.
Gilbert leads by 5 games to...
Well, here at Stadium Court at the U.S. Open, fans getting excited during this changeover as Brad Gilbert serves for the first set against Jimmy Connors.
Wait. The first service. He was just in the serve.
Connors wants to know why a first serve.
We'll listen here.
He was not even in the preparation for the ball. He was just stepping up to the line. Get the rule book out. I want to see that. Get the rule book out here. I want to see that rule.
First serve.
Well, I just happen to have the rule book with me, and I will check on that. Connors wants to know why Brad Gilbert gets a first serve, having missed already. And it's an interruption of play, as I understand the rule, so we'll check on it.
15 love.
It's the MIPTC Grand Prix rules that Connors wants to have checked.
Still talking to the umpire.
Good hustle on this point for Connors.
15-0.
Kind of chips that approach shot there. That right there, you see the forehand way out in front of him. Uses the pace of the Gilbert passing shot just to knock off a volley. Just stopped it.
Oh! Well, I've just checked the rules, and as a matter of fact, the chair was right. Hindrance of a player, and I'll get into that a little bit.
Oh, that hit the line.
According to the Grand Prix
30,
rules,
15.
if a player is interfered with and the umpire calls a let, even though the server has previously served a fault, the server has a right to 2 services. And Rudy Berger said, yeah, that's what happened. There was an interruption there. Right on, Rudy.
Yeah, but will Rudy take the book out and show it to Connors?
Well, that's exactly what Jimmy asked for. I wonder if Rudy's got a book with him.
We'll just send Mary down.
15.
Jimmy's still unhappy, and I think that first point's bothering him a little bit here.
Gilbert with 2 set points.
Gilbert by 6 games to 4. Second set.
Brad Gilbert wins the first set. 6-4. Connors upset after that miss, getting right up to the service line.
Block 15.
Would you think that's still the play for Connors? Still come to net?
I think you got to be very careful against Gilbert because his confidence is up. He's rolling over the ball well, and he's passing from both the forehand and the backhand. Doesn't seem to be a weakness from the backcourt at all right now.
Love 30.
Is there any similarity in playing Gilbert for a guy like Connors as in playing Machir?
Not really, because I think Machir is a totally different type of player. He doesn't hit the ball with quite as much pace as Connors does.
No, it's Gilbert. Would it be as tough to play Gilbert as it is to play Machir?
I don't think so. Certainly not for most players. Machir is just much more deceptive.
No one's
than
like
Gilbert.
Machir. I think that's what Barry's trying to say.
It appears that Connors hasn't been able to find any kind of a rhythm here.
Forty, 30.
And Connors holds serve to start the second set. But Brad Gilbert took the first set of his quarterfinal match. 9 of USA's coverage of the U.S. Open. Brad Gilbert serving.
15 love.
He won the first set. Connors held in the first game of the second set. And after this match, Wendell and McEnroe on Stadium Court.
Gilbert, remarkably calm out there. He just kind of walks around, doesn't waste any energy at all.
The reason I brought up the Machir comparison is I'm wondering if that's what's frustrating Connors, is the fact that he's getting, you know, lots of balls that he doesn't have much to hit with.
Connors fourth on the list of most singles titles here. That is an amazing difference there, 81 to 35. Connors, however, on his serve, really does take a lot off that first ball and just gets it in play, and so a lot of times you're going to see his percentage of first serves much higher than his opponent.
This appears to be a match where serving itself is not really going to tell much of a difference.
Serve is not a big factor out here right now. The other gentlemen who have more titles than Jimmy, Richard Sears a long time ago, Bill Larnard, and the great Bill Tilden. Those gentlemen each won this championship 7 times.
How'd you fare against those guys, Barry?
Well, never played those guys.
Second serve coming at 40-30.
That's what you try to do against a pusher. You know, you try to speed things up, take the net, end the rallies. It's just so, it's hard. It's frustrating. Gilbert can play that pushing game very well. Look at that. That kind of changed the pace of the match all of a sudden. Another big serve.
And Gilbert holds. We're at 1-all. In the second set. Men's quarterfinal action. Stacy Keach is the new Mike Hammer, and he's for hire this fall on USA, premiering September 19th. TV's hottest detective on USA Network with the new Mike Hammer, September 19th.
Love 15. Love 30.
See where the sun is there, right on the rim of the stadium. It's at a tough angle right now.
it's going to get more difficult in the next hour here. Shadows are starting to creep across that court. The ball comes in and out of the light. Gilbert continues to just softball that ball deep. 3 errors from Connors. He's down triple break point.
Coming to net to save 1 break point.
14.
Good point for Connors here. Gilbert continues just to float the ball back. Jimmy trying to create some pace. It's a good deep ball. Closes in. Hits the two-hander. But it's like Gilbert said, okay, I'm still up 2 break points. I'm not going to kill myself on that point. The foot does not seem to be bothering Jimmy at this point in time. We haven't seen him have any problems so far.
Yeah, but Gilbert likes these long rallies. He's obviously just trying to push the ball and keep him out there.
That's long.
Gilbert breaks. So Gilbert up a set and now up a break over Jimmy Connors in the second. On USA.
You know, this day is slightly reminiscent of a day back in 1984 that we talked about last night. 11 hours and 15 minutes of coverage. I hope nobody's thinking along those lines, but perhaps they are. As we look at Jimmy's unforced errors, 21, not too good at this stage.
Serve called out.
Gilbert broke his rhythm there, inquired about that first serve, and immediately double faults. That's his second double fault of the match.
Now, this morning in a story in the New York Times, Gilbert talked about this very thing. So this is what I've had to learn to do, is not carry a bad call over for 2 or 3 games. Something is bothering Connors. If it's not his foot, it's Gilbert or something, but a lot of unforced errors.
It's his tactic that's driving him nuts. And this is the kind of, I used to go nuts playing against people like this too.
You have to be careful because you can become impatient. Gilbert's just lulling Connors into soft balls.
So what'd you do?
I'd usually lose. That's what I did. I knew how to handle the situation.
Another unforced error from the Connors forehand.
What'd you do, Barry, when you played someone like a Brad Gilbert?
I just tried to blow him off the court.
Smoke him with a serve?
Overpower everything. Pray that it worked.
Well, that's what you can. I mean, that Connors would love to be able to do that right now, but he just doesn't have a big serve.
Good volley here from Connors. 30. Stays in the rally. Gets the short ball. Slices under it a little bit. Now watch Jimmy move to his left. Great anticipation there. As Gilbert got ready to hit the ball, he moved. Watch him again. Sets and then instantly moves to his left. Racket out in front. Look where he ends up, about a foot from the net. That's why he was able to close that volley out.
30 all.
set.
13-14.
The crowd now trying to give Jimmy some encouragement.
All right, Gilbert's second serve, very soft and short. Would that be something Connors should be charging net behind?
That's the one area of his game, Ted, that I see as a possible problem. If he doesn't serve a lot of good first serves, and that second serve does drop short and sits up. We'll see if it happens right here.
Second serve on a break point. Connors painted the baseline on 3 straight shots and winds up breaking back to 2-all.
Well, the last 3 shots that Jimmy hit were virtually either right on that baseline or just in front of it. Great depth.
Five, please.
You see what he thought of the call. Or calls.
15.
Amazing how the tide can turn quickly. Gilbert looked in control with a break here in the second. Connors hits 3 good shots, suddenly breaks back, and then Gilbert just looked like that forehand fell apart.
15-0.
The Bronx cheer from some Gilbert supporters to the person working the back line. 15-all.
Yes.
$30-15.
Sun is definitely a big factor now. It's low. The shadows are almost all the way across the court. But for those spectators on that side looking into it, tough viewing right now.
Out on the baseline is 40-15. Connors holds to lead 3-2 in the second set. A lot of frustrated fans here yesterday who made the trips here only to watch rain. Today, the folks with day session tickets
Seats behind the court, please.
are having one of the great buys in tennis history. They're going from morning into afternoon and into early evening.
My question is, what's going to happen to the 20,000 people that have evening tickets when it gets to be around 7 o'clock and they're storming the gates out there, getting ready to tear this place down to get in to watch?
They're going to be out there.
Could get interesting.
Could get ugly.
15-0.
Five service aces for Brad Gilbert. Berger from Munich in the chair. Looks like there will be no overrule. Brad's going to put a ball now right where that he thinks the ball was. There's Rudy shaking his head. That's not where it hit. That is where Brad Gilbert says the ball hit. We'll look at it one more time. Good first serve. Connors hits the return. Gilbert out of position. Watches the ball hit.
I'll tell you, from where he is standing right there, I mean, he had a great look at that ball.
He had a better look than the linesman.
Much better.
He was blocking the linesman's view. That may have been a problem with the call.
You know, electronically, everything expands on a replay.
30 all.
Oh, yes. Good coverage up there at net by Brad Gilbert.
40-30.
For those of you tuning in to see Dance Party USA on the East Coast and Cartoon Express on the West Coast, forget it. Welcome to tennis. USA Sports extended coverage of the 1987 U.S. Open. And Gilbert holds. We're at 3-all, and we want to again thank CBS Sports for their cooperation in allowing USA to stay on beyond its allotted time, and also our thanks to the technical crew of CBS, which is bringing you the outstanding pictures and sound from the U.S. Open. Our thanks to them for service above and beyond anything Barry would ever ask you to do.
Oh, it's a great crew, I'll tell you. There's a lot of people working overtime today. Gilbert sets up very well for this backhand. He slips right here on this forehand, kind of comes up her. See the feet sliding. Now he gets in position very quickly here. Racket back, sets, follows through. Perfect backhand cross court. He's moving well laterally. Real well. Jimmy Connors, delicate little volley there. Took the racket back, kept it on the strings. He knew he had the winner.
Did you say, Barry, come to net 10, you're going to win 7? He got past in the last point and came in again.
That's the rule of thumb. It's awful hard to hit passing shots, and I don't care how great the player is from the backcourt. If you hit a good approach and come in, he's going to nail you maybe 3 times, and when he does, you say, good shot, and you take the other 7. Now watch Jimmy as he walks. This is kind of interesting. He's always scuffed his toes just a little bit. See that? See that right foot? He kind of hits and stops, and it's just a habit that he's developed over the years. I just wonder whether that might have something to do with the way that pad squeezes up in there. I'm going to podiatry school soon. Take up a whole new deal.
I wonder how much longer Connors will go before he changes shoes anyway. Where's
most famous foot since Achilles.
saw Becker change rackets how many times during a match last week. Connors changed his shoes like that. Says he can't play without having a new pair of shoes on.
You can see right there, he just kind of pops the toe on the court. Best approach shot Gilbert's hit all day. He just really eased into that shot.
Takes care of it. Connors holding. And he now leads 4-3 in the second. Gilbert winning the first set.
Lead by 4-3.
Even.
Seats behind the court, please.
He's having a good afternoon of spectating there.
Heading to the beach, took a wrong turn and wound up in the middle of a tennis match, right?
Thank you.
It's getting suddenly very dark out here. A lot of clouds around. I'm sure they'll be turning.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Well, I'm sure they'll be turning on the lights before too long.
Gilbert serving here at 3-4 second set.
Oh!
Connors did exactly what he wanted that time. Came in behind a deep ball. Watch this approach shot. Good shot. He's all set there. Has an open court to hit that little drop volley into. Plays a little too fine. Connors with a great return of serve there.
15.
Gilbert looked like he had a clean ace. Jimmy lunged for it. There you see Patty Connors on her right. Ivan Blumberg, who handles a lot of Jimmy's business affairs.
Ball!
Those errors have to be taking a toll on Connors mentally, if nothing else. Gilbert serving for 4-all.
Best points of the match so far.
40-30.
Good solid ground strokes. Nobody mishit a ball there until Gilbert finally volleyed that last one out.
game point. Gilbert double faults. His third. And we're at deuce. Quite a while. He has a break point, which if he can win, he would then be serving for the set. Most of those who have been here since 11 o'clock this morning are still here.
Some here at 10. They started the matches on the outside courts at 10 a.m.
Serve for the second set.
That big fellow with Patty and Ivan is Doug Henderson, who is a constant companion of Jimmy's here in New York during the U.S. Open. There he is. There's Big Doug. He walks about 10 feet in front of Connors, and everybody gets out of the way.
That's right.
Including me.
Love. Love.
Getting very windy again. Gusts. Every time the clouds get dark, the gusts come in.
Wow.
Winner by Gilbert.
30-15.
Connor still 2 points from the set.
Gilbert drew Connors into the net here off this shot and knew that Connors wouldn't still be in that tight, and once again he goes for the down the line passes. As Davis Cup captain Tom Gorman says of Gilbert, he doesn't have the prettiest game on the tour. Sure is effective.
Set point for Connors.
Quad B's.
Wind really becoming a factor now in the points in this game.
Well, he's been hitting, as you said, Mary, down the line and some great passing shots cross court. That time, he hit it right into Connor's body. Kind of jammed him, really.
And I think the pace of the pass helped Connors to miss that shot.
Yep.
He really hit it late.
Connors trying to even this match at a set apiece.
Advantage, Connors.
Quiet, please.
Second set point for Connors. Second set, 6-3. We'll return with more tennis in a moment. Barry Carrillo and Barry McKay. I'm Ted Robinson. As we approach 6 hours of tennis coverage here on USA. Earlier today, we saw Chris Evert be eliminated by Lori McNeil, Steffi Graf, Martina Navratilova, Stefan Edberg, Mats Wilander all winning. Now we're a set apiece, and Gilbert serving to start the third.
15 love.
I don't think we're going to see much change in strategy in this set. Gilbert content to keep that ball nice and easy. Connors hitting with a lot more pace in that second set, though. Started to force things. I think he'll try and continue that. I don't think he wants to get lulled into a lot of long points here in this match.
15-all.
If we get into a longer match, you know, Connors won a 5-setter over Pernfors at Wimbledon this year, but he hasn't played a 5-setter here. That going to be a problem for him?
I don't think so at all, Ted. He's in really good physical shape. I've rarely seen Connors run out of gas. In fact, if anything, he gets tougher in the fifth.
$30-15.
Gilbert again with his good passing shot. The slow ball, Connors takes it and comes in. Now Gilbert will set up again, just roll over the shot. Jimmy was watching for the passing shot up the line that time. That's why he was so far away from that cross court. Gilbert's been effective up the line. When a guy passes you 4 or 5 times up the line, there's a tendency for that guy just to cover that shot and leave the rest of the court open.
$14-15.
40-30.
Gilbert holds to start the third set.
New balls.
We're on one set apiece in this men's quarterfinal match. An hour and 40 minutes of tennis already played by these two.
Jimmy holding up new balls. They are changing at 9 and 11. For one of the rare times, Gilbert
15 love.
Chips that return and closes in, trying to change up things a bit there. It's one of Brad's best shots, that angled cross-court forehand. The other guy who hits that shot real well is Boris Becker, but it left him the other night.
His manager, Ian Tiriac, said that Boris got to the round of 16 without playing tennis.
Oh. 30-15.
Gilbert twice now has tried that tactic, taking the second serve, hitting out on it, and closing in. He had an opportunity that time, just mishit that backhand volley.
As the match has progressed, Connors has had a little less trouble holding his serve. He's been winning his service games without as much struggle as Gilbert has had. Again holding at 15, and we're now at 1-all in the third set.
1 game all.
Got a lot of power into that overhead. It was not an easy shot. There's the former U.S. Davis Cup captain and the first U.S. Open when it was really an Open, 1968. He won this tournament back at the old West Side Tennis Club, beat Tom Ocker in the final. Ocker was an amateur, I believe. It was around $14,000 was first prize that year. It's come a long way, $250 this year.
those of you tuning in to see Cartoon Express on both our coasts, anywhere you're watching USA, you may be tuning in to see Cartoon Express. You're seeing instead Jimmy Connors and Brad Gilbert, USA Sports extended coverage of the U.S. Open.
Love.
One set apiece, 1-all in the third set. This is the first men's quarterfinal. The ladies have finished their quarterfinals. The semis will be Steffi Graf against Lori McNeil, Martina Navratilova against Helena Sukova. McNeil knocking Chris Evert out today in 3 sets. Double fault, that's 30-all. Fourth double fault by Gilbert. Lights are on. We've had some dark clouds pass over, but no rain today.
14-13.
The tournament back on schedule. Deuce.
That is Dickie Stockton.
He's been warming up with Connors all week.
An old friend of Jimmy Connors. They've played since they were kids in the under 12s, and they have really become fast friends. I'll tell you a story about Stockton and Connors and some of these other guys
He
from that
wouldn't
era.
like you emphasizing the word old as you did.
Well, he's one of the top players in the over 35s right now.
Competing this week. Connors is eligible for that. He was eligible last year. A little too busy in the open events for that.
Well, someone who's had as much success as Connors and played this long at this level, would he play the over 35s?
I don't know. That's hard to say. I'll tell you, he'd do pretty well.
Gilbert holds. So we're 1 set apiece and 2-1 Gilbert in the third.
Five, please.
Third set, Connors serving at 1-2. 1 set apiece.
Love 15.
Quick story about Dickie Stockton. We had a Junior Davis Cup camp at Stanford University years ago, and here were some of the guys on the team: Tanner, Van Dillen, Solomon, Godfrey, Connors, Sandymer, and Dickie Stockton. All those guys did pretty well. And there's one of them right there, Dick Stockton. We have seen very few lead cords that dropped in.
So, Barry, are you thinking that that just happened to be an incredible crop back then in the 60s and that it could swing that way again for American tennis?
I think it's possible, Mary. They called that the class of 52, and really it was a wonderful group of players that all went on to great heights.
Now, Gilbert has not had a break since the 5th game of the match, and he had an opening. It's now 15-30. Not that anything that Gilbert's happy about. He doesn't smile an awful lot on the court.
He doesn't. He seems to go up and down with his concentration, but it's really not true. He's gotten much better about that.
Gilbert's also been put under an awful lot of pressure as a hope, a future hope for American tennis. You mentioned the class of 52, Barry. Everyone wants to know, hey, where's the class of 60? What's going on?
Talk about a great angle. Watch the way Connors not only gets in on this shot, but when he lines up the backhand volley, he just angles it hugely there. That's where the two hands help, because that was not an easy shot running to his right.
Connors trying to set the point up the same way. Goes long on the approach, and it's deuce.
Jimmy slides around the side of that one-hander as he comes in. Maybe the best all-time approach shot from a right-hander was Jack Kramer's approach shot. The same style. He kind of came around the side of the ball, hit it deep to that backhand corner, and then he just knocked off the easy volley. Great approach shot off the forehand.
Advantage Connors.
Connors is really trying to take every single opportunity to get to the net and make these rallies a lot shorter. And that's good play. Nice forward movement here by Connors, and he makes sure that this one is gone.
Connors having to work a bit harder here to hold serve. Serving for 2-all.
Gilbert was not doing that as much in the first set. All of a sudden, he's realized that the Connors second serve perhaps dropping just a little short.
He was just trying to bore Connors to death in the first set.
And he did.
It worked. Connors wants no more of that.
Advantage Connors.
Gilbert ends up in the flowers on that one, running wide. There's 2 sets of flower boxes on a diagonal, all 4 corners. And about 5 years ago, Vitas Gerulaitis on the full run not only made the shot, but ended up flowers all over him. I mean, he was in the dirt. That's right, Mary. It was wide in the grandstand. Ended up with a rose in his mouth.
And Connors does finally hold. It's a 2-all in the third.
Vitas Gerulaitis is here at the U.S. Open this year. I saw him a couple of days ago. He's got his own camp now, the Vitas Gerulaitis International Tennis Academy down in Delray. And he's got a junior player who's competing in the junior event. That's what's great about the second week here at the U.S. Open. The over 35 starts, the mixed doubles starts, the junior events start. A lot going on the outside courts, but I'll tell you, this stadium is pretty full right now watching this match.
Connors holds up his hand. A woman just got up and strolled out as Bradley threw the ball up.
We've had a lot of trouble here today keeping the fans in the right places behind the ends of the court.
Well, especially when the grandstand court is operational. With that McNeil match, everybody was jumping up and going over there.
Well, the changeup didn't work. Brad had put in 2 hard first serves. They were real flat. And then he tried to spin him in on the other one. Didn't work nearly as well. But you can tell that he's thinking changeup out there. Another big flat one. I think that's what he should stick with.
The serve that he has really improved is that serve in the ad court out wide to Connors' forehand.
There is no flash photography.
He's won a lot of very quick points with that serve. Saves him energy, especially in a 5-set match. Very important.
That's service.
He wanted that one. I don't think he believed it was a let.
No Swedish blood in Brad Gilbert. Very expressive.
No.
But Gilbert holds easily. And we'll be back after these words from your local cable system. Connors had 1 service break in the second set. We've had no breaks in the third set.
This match over 2 hours old already. They have played 24 games. So the rallies are long.
Low.
Fans wouldn't mind a little more of that action.
13 love.
Watch the slice down the line. Gilbert tries that good running forehand, but Jimmy saw it coming real early, covered easily on that shot. Connor's starting to pick now the Gilbert passing shots a bit better than he was early in this match. He's that happens in a match. You start realizing where a guy goes after a while, and then you just head there and
on his serve, Connors is go right to net. Big first serve, and he had the point. Gilbert was off balance on the return. .30. And Connors holds. 3-all, third set.
3 games hold.
Well, we have arrived at that famous 7th game, which we talk about so often. It's much more crucial, obviously, if the score is 4-2, because you've got a chance for a much bigger swing. But I still think this is normally the biggest game in any set. Only guy that doesn't agree with me in the entire world is Stan Smith. Says he could care less about the 7th game. I told him he was nuts. You know what? He won Wimbledon and the U.S. Open. I never did.
Of course, Stan probably didn't care because he was winning 6-love. Real soft second serve, and it was long.
That's 5 double faults for Brad Gilbert. He didn't want to serve him right here.
Oh. 30-15.
Mrs. Gilbert from Piedmont, California. Connor's way around now. Favors that forehand. Sweeps over the ball. He knows he's got a shot here. Watch him close now. That extra little step. He catches the ball about a foot higher. Jimmy hits that ball so much better when he comes over it on the approach. When he slices under it is when he hits that tape.
40, 30.
6 clean aces for Brad Gilbert.
And they're all those big flat ones.
Yeah, down the center, Mary, and then in this court he's been very successful serving out wide to Connor's forehand with that angle.
First service.
Gilbert didn't hear the lead.
Becker says that Gilbert's serve isn't that big, it's just so well placed. I mean, he's been placing them very well today as well.
First serve.
That second serve is so weak.
He is just easing that ball in. Gilbert comes over. Jimmy waits his turn. Comes in again on the two-hander. This ball way too high. That's an easy forehand volley for Connors.
I'll tell you, if Gilbert keeps throwing in many more of those second serves, Connors will be all over it.
Let's have a look at the second serve now and see.
Why hasn't he done it to this point? Because he's been serving that way the whole match.
Yep.
Not that soft.
He's really coming off the pace.
Yeah, he's really babying them now.
Now a break point for Connors.
Advantage, Connors.
Third straight time he used the same strategy, just rallied until he got the two-hander. There is a gentleman we've all seen a bit.
Noted tennis aficionado.
Howard Cosell. Howard Cosell.
Second serve on a break point, and Connors didn't jump on it.
Patty Connors still pensive.
I'm surprised he's not smothering those second serves as well. But, you know, against a player like Brad, you know, you tend to overhit a lot. I guess he doesn't want to get too anxious. He's trying to pick his spots.
Now it's the advantage to Gilbert.
You always get the feeling in close games like this, especially as things get towards the end of a set, Connors somehow has the edge. He's able to figure out a way to win the big points. Stretch, just do something different.
Yes, it is.
Deuce. Gilbert throw the racket. Slammed his racket down.
Rudy Berger, I thought, was going to give.
Kind of surprised Rudy Berger in the chair didn't slap a warning on Brad Gilbert. That's what John McEnroe says is inconsistent. He says they go after me every single time. They're looking for it from me.
And now here is another second serve for Connors on a break point.
That was a pretty brave point by Brad. And he played real close to the lines on those shots.
Yeah, he almost looked kind of casual the way he was playing that point. Break point. Hits a ball about a foot from the baseline.
It's well done.
For those viewers tuning in to see Cartoon Express on USA, instead welcome the USA Sports extended coverage of the 1987 U.S. Open Tennis Championships, which extended from noon and will extend close to midnight tonight. Turning into quite a game. At 3-all in the third. For a deuce.
That's almost become like a routine sequence for Connors. Start the rally going, get the short ball, hit it to Gilbert's backhand, cover the cross court, put the ball away.
He should keep doing it like that.
Exactly.
You know, I'm surprised that he doesn't do it more often, really. And he's like a shark, and he smells blood. He senses the kill, and in the past, Connors has asserted himself more early, more consistently in a match such as this.
Advantage, Gilbert.
That's the best backhand Brad's hit, though. He really kept that ball low. And the other 4 points that Connors won in net, he had high balls to volley. Gilbert nailed that one.
That had to feel great.
Ooh. I think he took a big chance there, Mary. No question about it. He hit out on that backhand. He said, one thing, I'm not going to hit him a high one.
Well, he had to hit hard, really, because Connors was in such good position. And again, the pace is what beat him.
Gilbert's advantage. Brad has not had very many first serves in this game.
Connors jumping all over that weak second serve again. Gets the two-hander deep, and right there was when Brad really needed a first serve.
That's exactly it. I think you get a first serve in on his ad, he'd probably win the game.
Now this is turning out to be the longest game, certainly of this set, maybe of the match. Wide.
Well, this is, I believe, the third break point for Connors in this game. The game has lasted so long, I've lost track. faulted. Gilbert double faults for a service break. And Connors is now up a break in the third.
Connors leads by 4 games to 3.
Live at the U.S. Open on Stadium Court, a marathon game just completed, but Connors escaped with the critical service break.
Sit down, please.
Which could be the key in this set. We are at one set apiece, and Connors serving at 4-3 in the third. Critical because Gilbert has not broken Connors since early in the first set. The first Connors hump of the night.
15 love.
Gilbert deep.
Quiet, please.
Off the line. Jimmy with a two-hander. Clean winner cross court.
Thank you.
Fourth double fault for Connors. During the changeover, Jimmy Connors, for the first time in the match, tended to that right foot.
Well, it looks to me like he is not putting anything on. Now, the little thing on the very bottom of his foot, like it was.
Some sort of an orthotic that he may have changed, and he changed socks as well.
30-15.
30-15. You almost get the feeling Connors is approaching this match as if it's going to get teeth pulled. He says, I know I may beat this guy, but it's going to be long, it's going to be painful, and it may not be pretty. Gilbert fighting the disappointment of being broken in that long seventh game. Connors now serving for 5-3 in the third.
That ball wide. Jimmy's going to have another look here.
Outside the line. Ball's inside the line.
Rudy Berger. There is the linesman in question. That is the side linesman.
Give Connors credit. He said the ball was inside the line. He didn't say it was on the line. He said it was inside the line.
Right. Also, Ted, that gave Jimmy just a few extra seconds there as he came up and leaned on that net to catch a breath or two. Very clever. He's on it.
Leads by
5-3, third set.
This is why Jimmy Connors is such a great player. Good approach here. Watch the movement. Lunges for the ball. Now watch, he stops right there. Doesn't even get to the center service line. Thank you. Because he knows the ball's going up the line.
First point on Gilbert's serve, and Connors will change rackets.
Broke a string. You could see it right up at the top there. It popped. Jimmy has gone to the mid-size racket. Finally, after years and years with that old T2000 that he used for at least 15 years. But he seems to have adjusted to this new racket. does a very interesting thing, Ted, on the racket handle. He will pour water all over the handle, which people, I'd be petrified to do that, but he pours the water on, then he towels it off, and what happens is it keeps that grip very tacky. It works for him, but the first time I saw him do that, I about fainted. I couldn't believe it, because you're always trying to keep moisture off the racket handle. Ball hit the top of the net. It carried wide. It was pretty obvious that ball was going to go wide. Jimmy thought for a moment that it perhaps had dropped inside. Gilbert takes a big chance on that forehand approach. Right up the line. The net 6 inches higher at that point.
(30-15). Gilbert serving to stay alive in the set, but he's down a break.
Oh, yes. Jimmy lunging for that two-handed return. Not only gets to the ball, but knocks off a clean winner. Gilbert was totally surprised by that shot. Patty and Doug Henderson, and on the far left of your picture, that is Ivan Blumberg, who really looks after a lot of off-court activities.
14-13.
Again, once that ball hits the top of the net, it is long gone. Not too many easy lets.
Clean winner. Big winner by Gilbert. Connor serves the set when we return after these words from your local game leads by 5-4. Connors is serving for the third set, and Brad Gilbert just given a time violation warning by umpire Rudy Berger.
Gilbert now pointing over to some more people. At the changeover, Todd Snyder came out, chatted with Jimmy regarding his foot. He is always close at hand, and we have seen a lot of Todd Snyder and Jimmy Connors' right foot over the last few days.
Great point there by Connors.
Strips one off behind his back.
It's amazing, Barry, is that at 35, Connors can still move as he can change his mind about the type of shot he wants to hit while a ball was in the air.
It's amazing. He's got great flexibility. And on that one that he ran around there, Ted, he could have lobbed that ball, but he had a feeling Gilbert was not closing that fast, went ahead and hit it. Nope.
30-15.
He's still breathing a little heavy right now. That first point took a lot out of him. Gilbert with some tendonitis underneath that right knee, wraps it very similar to the way Martina had her left one wrapped earlier today.
Flexing that in some pain. 30-15. The Gilbert supporters trying to urge him on 2.5 hours into the match.
Just have a feeling Gilbert, if he gets a short serve, might try and come in behind it here. Wasn't short enough. Oh.
40.
Brad, good deep forehand, catches Connors.
Well, here's a change. Connors was at 30 love, 2 points from the set. Now it's a break point for Gilbert for 5-all.
The serve set it all up. Wide swinging left-handed serve at Brad so far out of court. He barely got the ball back in a wide open court for Connors to hit into. Yes. Good power
Gilbert.
off the return. Jimmy stretches out. Now this shot right here sets it up. He really rips over it. Jimmy barely gets his racket on it. A wide open shot. Connors moving to his left. Left a lot of room up the line. You have to make a move one way or the other when you've got a sitter like that. Either fake the guy out, just decide which way you're going to go, and then go for it.
Two break points that Connors has saved with good serves. Connors had been cruising through the middle part of this match on his serve, but has run into a trouble here serving for the set.
Shot again.
Advantage Gilbert.
Jimmy did not do enough with that two-handed volley. Gave Brad just that split second of time, and that is one of his favorite shots. He wins a lot of points with that cross-court forehand, short, good angle on that ball. Connors just watched it go by.
long fuse. Very slow call. That's what Gilbert was upset about.
It was a well-timed lob. Let's watch it here. Jimmy follows the ball back. Ooh, looks like it almost hit right on the line. Connors looks over right there at the baselinesman. The call was definitely delayed.
It was slow. That was what Connors wasn't sure whether to try and take a whack at the ball. But that's the third break point that Connors has saved.
Jimmy makes no mistake about this volley. That's a good approach shot, deep. Now watch the ball start to float. Connors moves right in, almost reaches over the net to hit that ball for a winner.
From 3 break points for Gilbert, we now get to a set point, the first for Connors.
Oh, I don't believe it.
Ball good.
Oh.
6-4. The ball called good.
4th set. Gilbert to serve.
I don't believe that Gilbert did not go for that shot. Big mistake there for Brad Gilbert, regardless of where the ball hit. Cannot believe Gilbert on set point did not at least get the ball back in play. It was not a tough shot.
5, please.
Watch it one more time. He just floats the ball. Brad on his way now. Watch Gilbert here. He's ready to hit the ball. Stops right there. Does not swing at the ball. That is set point for Connors to go up 2 sets to 1. And Connors is up 2 sets to 1.
Gilbert to serve. It's impossible for us to tell off replays, but again, there were 2 calls there that were slow, both at Gilbert's end of the court. But you're absolutely right, Barry. You've got to play the point.
Oh, especially on a point like that. I mean, that's the biggest point of the afternoon for both players.
Gilbert's mad that Rudy Berger does not turn the microphone on.
Let's listen.
These people are yelling, and you don't use your microphone. I can't hear myself think out here.
I always say quiet, please.
Yeah, but you say quiet, please, so softly.
If you play, that's it. Let's play.
People are yelling behind me.
I can't only try my best. I say it all the time.
People use it flash. I ask you umpteen times.
I say it all the time.
Just get it together. As a courtesy to the players, quiet, please.
There is Ken Farrar on the left, Gail Bradshaw, the taller gentleman, on the right. The official referee, Bradshaw. Ken Farrar, the Men's International Professional Tennis Council supervisor.
Oh. 15 love.
Connor's having some fun now, up 2 sets to 1. He's a little more relaxed.
I imagine that Gilbert enjoys that an awful lot.
I wouldn't think so.
Ah!
I like the terminology, Barry, that they used the other day during the Monlikova match when Hannah had her problems. They called back to the supervisor's office and said the match was becoming slightly fragile.
That's great. In England, they'd say a bit dicey out here on court 16. Now, this is a very crucial game for Gilbert. He's down 2-1, obviously upset. Things not going well at all. And if he loses his serve here, first game of the fourth set, Connors could run this thing out in a big hurry. Gilbert needs this game badly.
And now 2 break points for Connors. 7th double fault by Gilbert, but the last thing he can afford here is to be broken to start the fourth set. That's exactly what happened off unforced errors.
First game,
so Connors leads 2-1 and is up a break in the fourth set.
Announcement that says, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the afternoon session. 20,000 people are going to roar. They want to stick around for the Lendl match. I want to see how they get these folks out of these seats. That could be very interesting.
But regardless of when the match starts, we will be here. We're not leaving. We'll show you the conclusion of this match and the Lendl-McEnroe match which follows. Connors up a break here in the fourth set.
Love 15.
For viewers who are tuning in to USA to see Double Trouble on the East Coast and Dance Party USA on the West Coast, you won't see those programs. We regret that, but we welcome you instead happily to USA Sports extended coverage of the U.S. Open.
Love 13.
Gilbert soaking himself in that cold towel during the changeover, hoping that he literally could cool off.
Ooh, Jimmy takes a whack and immediately gets down love 40. You hate to do that when you've got a great roll going like he did have going over Gilbert there. 5 double faults for Connors.
Oh. 15-40.
Still 2 break points for Gilbert. I'm sure Connors is hopeful after that early break he could close this out fast.
Absolutely. You just hate to get broken back when you get a break to close out the match. All he's going to do is hold serve.
Oh. 13-14.
And Gilbert has only 1 chance left. Oh boy.
The lights are on now here at the stadium court. Starting to get dark. So probably another hour, hour and a half of good light. Oh, and Gilbert.
Well, that's 3 racket smashes that have gone unpenalized.
Exactly. Rudy Berger had a real close look there at Gilbert when he fired that racket down the last time. I thought he was going to hit him with a penalty.
Well, if he didn't get him after the end of the third set, he never will.
Because that forehand that Gilbert hit right there was the toughest forehand he's had in the whole game. And yet the one that he missed on break point was a real sitter. Now there you go. Maybe that's the difference right there. Keep those brains tucked in there a little tighter.
This is his 4th break point of the game.
Oh.
Big first serve. That's how Connors has bailed himself out of the tough jams in this match.
Jimmy has served well when it counted. Watch this replay here.
Advantage. Connors.
Gilbert has a huge opportunity. The ball hits the top of the net, bounces way up. Gilbert sees it, comes in. Watch Connors now. Just sticks his racket out. The ball hits right in the middle of the strings. Connors, reflex. Got a little lucky, Brad.
The difference there is from a Gilbert break point to a Connors ad.
Oh, it's out.
Connors. New balls. Change ball.
Well, now you really talk to yourself, dear Gilbert. 4 break points in the game, yet Connors still holds.
Gilbert's going to remember that one shot he had. I mean, nailed the ball right onto the strings of Connors' racket.
The headband quickly dispatched.
That didn't work too well. Let's get rid of that.
Quiet, please. Thank you. Love 15.
Gilbert now really needs to get it together quickly because, as I mentioned earlier, Connors likes to get on a roll in this situation, and if he would go up 3-love, this thing could end in a hurry.
15 all. Oh! 30-15.
Jimmy checking the tension on those strings. Is young Brett Connors.
30 all.
Jimmy didn't look like he was having too much fun out here earlier. He seems to be somewhat enjoying it now.
Oh! God, that's a hole.
Please. Second serve, 30 all.
Gilbert talking himself out of the match at this point. Really needs to concentrate.
really testing the limits of the 30-second clock there.
There is no on-court 30-second clock that we can see. The umpire is totally responsible for that. No call. Connors says obviously out, but doesn't argue too much. Walks over to the deuce court. Lee Berger's having a busy afternoon up in that chair.
Another break point for Connors. Gilbert has won, I would guess, very few points on second serves. His second serve, just letting Connors hit great returns.
He's out again.
And Connors breaks, and now Jimmy Connors firmly in control of 2-1 and 3-love. We're back after these words from your local systems. Heading for a semi-final berth where he would meet the winner of the Lendl-McEnroe match.
Please. Connors has not had a bad year, Ted. 3 finals, lost to Edberg in Memphis, Van Rensburg in Orlando, and Boris Becker at Queens.
Please.
Reached the quarters at the French, semifinals at Wimbledon before losing to Cash. Most players would be pretty happy with that kind of a year, but I'm sure Jimmy Connors would like to add one more big title, this one right here, to 1987. He's getting closer.
Love 15.
See what happened with Jimmy Connors during the last changeover. There's ATP trainer Todd Snyder again at work. That was probably a little bit of that freeze-em baseball players use to deaden the nerves in the area of pain.
15. You see Connors jump when he hit him with the bottom of the little pain there. But he seems to have had less trouble with the foot and the shoe during this match than he's had almost in any other match. Maybe it's shaping up a little bit.
$30, 15.
Connors was in the semifinals here 12 straight years until losing last year early. And we sometimes place so much emphasis on winning that you lose track of the streaks like that, like Everett's 16 years in a row in the semis, which is an amazing accomplishment.
Yes, Gilbert had just started to make his move to the backhand side, and Connors saw him go. Put a little more oomph into that ball up the line, and Brad knew the minute that he started to the other side, he was in big trouble. Clean winner for Connors. It's wide.
That's 4-love. Barry, John McEnroe
4 games to love.
made some interesting comments during this Open about Connors. He said, Connors loves tennis more than I do. He said, Connors has accepted the fact that he can still play good tennis, but that he'll never win. He won't be #1 anymore. He's accepted that. McEnroe said, I admire him because I don't know that I can ever accept that.
But the point is, Ted, that even though he has accepted that, he still loves to play tournaments, loves to win matches. He may not win tournaments, but he's still out there playing. Gilbert in this fourth set. Between getting upset on that one bad play at the end of the third set and then overplaying balls, he is absolutely playing himself right out of the match.
And it's funny, Barry, because this puts him at the opposite end because he watched Becker do this the other night.
Exactly.
In the fifth set.
In that fifth set against Gilbert, Becker just virtually collapsed. Kiss that point goodbye.
Love 30.
This is a great feeling when you're 4 games up and your opponent seemingly can't get a ball near the court. You're saying to yourself, you know, I think I can get out of this one in the fourth set maybe real quickly.
15-30.
A little more relaxed crew over there at this point than they were at the end of that first set when Jimmy was down 1 set to love.
Ooh. 30-all.
This is Gilbert. Has not budged since this match started in that seat.
That's for emphasis.
40.
You can feel those kind right up the handle into your wrists and your elbows, and it feels real good. You know when you've nailed one right in the center of that racket.
Now a break point here that would allow Connors to serve for the match. And there it is. Connors breaks again, and when we return, Jimmy Connors will serve for the match after these words from your local cable systems. Struggle. Connors now has the end in sight. Struggled for 3 sets. This fourth set has been quick and painless thus far for Connors. In 10 minutes, we'll be on again. Just think of that.
Love 15.
USA's tennis telethon continues.
First service.
First quarterfinal appearance ever for Brad Gilbert in a Grand Slam event. And he fared very well for the first 3 sets, but now is staring the end of it. And now match point for Jimmy Connors. One more match point for Connors. Double faulting on his second match point. So we're at deuce. Gilbert hit a great shot that was right on the line, and now that's a break point. Just slicing that backhand, it was right on the line. So saving 2 match points, Gilbert now has a break point. I would think it'd be difficult to spend 3 hours walking around telling yourself how bad you are. That's what Gilbert seems to do out there. He's actually held himself very well here. Winning the first set, fighting hard in the second and third. And now a third match point for Connors. No one is cheering harder than the people that are waiting outside to get in. All the ticket holders for the night session. Featuring Lendl and McEnroe. There it is. 3 hours and 10 minutes. Jimmy Connors at 35 makes the semis at Wimbledon and the U.S. Open in the same year. 4-set winner over Brad Gilbert. We'll be back to talk to Jimmy Connors when we return live to USA's coverage of the U.S. Open right after this.
All right, Ted, a little windy, Jimmy. We're going to get you out of here in a hurry. You looked to me like you started serving very well middle of that second set. First serves in, a much better percentage.
I did, but I didn't think I played badly in the first set. Brad kept a lot of balls in play, and then I came in on some pretty good approach shots, and he made some very good passing shots. But I think in the second set, I started picking my shots a little bit better. Plus, I did start serving better and didn't give him a chance to take a whack at it right off the bat. So I was pleased with the way I played.
Jimmy, how about the foot? Everybody asking, how's it feel?
Well, I mean, it got me through today. That's good enough. But I think that if I can get through and play another match, if I can do that, or another 2 matches, and then take a couple days off, I can use a couple days off to rest the foot. But I mean, there's nothing going to keep me from coming out and playing on Saturday. That's for sure.
All right, Jimmy. Either Lendl or McEnroe, they're going to play tonight. Any thoughts about that match tonight?
Well, from the reports, I guess Mac is very intense and very eager to play against Lendl, and if he comes out and he's hyped up and the crowd gets behind him, I think it's going to be a heck of a match. But Lendl's been playing well. There's no doubt about it. He's played well all summer, and his form is always at the top. So I look forward for a good match.
18 years ago when you played your first Open, Jimmy, you think you'll be standing here tonight in the semifinals?
I don't know what's that mean. I'm Nutsberry. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm happy to be through to where I am.
Thanks for stopping, Jimmy.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, Ted, back up to you.